I think it's close. Our meat farm's coming along nicely. I think it's time to season our meat.
Give your meat a good old rub. Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
What's the night? What's the night? What's the night?
Yeah. It's traffic, baby. I like this beat right here. Puts me in a good mood.
Okay, 06:23 in the morning, and it's looking like a lovely day. I've just had a shower. I think we'll head down to the meat farm.
Yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back to the Hermit Chunk Challenge. And as you can see, our animal farm here, our passive animal farm, is flushing on and off. Let's go and have a look. I did AFK here for a while. We haven't got this thing fully hooked up yet, but yeah, that's fantastic. Look at that. We've got all the meats. In fact, I might even grab... That really wasn't that long either. That was maybe 30 minutes. Ah, man. Oh, I can't eat anymore. I'm not even hungry. Stupid thing. I've been hungry for like episodes and now I'm not even hungry. Okay, there's another thing over here I need to explain. I have switched over to Etho hopper clocks, and yeah, I know you're looking at it. Some of you are probably going, what the hell is that? All right, I'll leave a link to these things. They work similarly to the 4-hopper thing, and all they do is just create some timing. It's very straightforward. You'll see this flick across in a moment. This one here, there you go. This one here is set to about 1 minute. And it fires off into this guy, which is just a sticky piston and a block on top with a repeater next to it. And it just creates a little pulse. That then fires this one, which is set to 10 seconds. Because what I'm trying to do here is every minute flush for 10 seconds. And the old timer just wasn't giving me enough flexibility to be able to do that. So I've changed it up. It's a little more compact, especially because I've got these two clocks here, but it lets me just adjust how long it's off and how long it's on, or how long it flushes. It just gives me a little more control. I found with a 10-second or even a 20-second on off, it can get out of sync. See, the animals, all the meat animals like pigs and cows and all the passive animals, they can only spawn every 20 seconds. So if you're a bit out of sync with that and there's water here, when that cycle comes around, you're going to miss out. So I'd rather keep this grass sort of ready to spawn for about 3 cycles. That's 20, 20 and 20, 60 seconds, 1 minute. And then just give it a good chance of some animals building up and then flush it out. I'm not too worried about the efficiency being awesome. I just want to make sure I do have regular meat coming out of this. All right, enough talking. So that's doing the flushing every minute. This is collecting all the items. We've got ourselves some steak. We still can't eat. And what I need to do this episode is get the meat up to the top. I don't want to have to be coming down here. And I think what I'm going to do is, I've been poking around down here just to see, because obviously I can't break this bedrock. And, you know, there's an occasional stone block here and there, and damn, I thought that would go all the way through. All right, what I'm going to have to use is bring these hoppers over to here and a couple of droppers or something. Yeah, something like that. So, all right, guys, so what I'm going to do is just have a little bit of a poke around, grab all this redstone. This doesn't look too bad. I can at least get it across, maybe into a water stream here. And then what we're going to do is send it up on the side of this elevator here. Now it's going to be... It's going to be pretty bulky, actually, because the minimum pattern you need to be able to send the blocks up is something like, it's like sort of like a star. It's like this. And the items, sorry, not the blocks, the items go up the center here. So I'm going to have this star shape running all the way up the side. Not terribly happy about that, but honestly, I could use a silent dropper elevator, but that's a lot of droppers all the way. That's literally like 100 droppers or 50 droppers or something. So we can't do it this side because this is our water drop, although we could move our water drop to that side. No, I think we're going to leave it this side. This is where the stuff's coming out. So they will go up probably up like this, up here, all the way up. And this isn't solid on the side, so I'm going to have to build solid blocks here. Anyway, let me have a poke around. I'll be back with something, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, I'm up here just next to the elevator, and this is where the meat is going to go up. Now, as you can see, I've moved this. Originally, it was coming out here. That just wasn't going to work. I had to move it over to this side. So you can see here that there's a dropper facing out. It's going to spit the items out there. They're going to come around here on that water stream and then get pushed up here. So what I'll do is I'll head down the bottom, show you what I've done. As you can see, all these hoppers here point into each other. They go around the corner, and the last hopper just points into this dropper. Now, there's a little bit of redstone magic here. This works exactly like a chicken cooker. I might put a link in the description, but it's a pretty simple circuit. These are just droppers facing up, except, just got to be careful here, except that last dropper there is obviously facing into the water. And all I'm doing here is I've got a comparator off the dropper, a repeater on 2 ticks, and then another comparator here into a solid block, and that's it. Now, whenever there's any items in this dropper, if I grab some feathers, it'll just start ticking away like that and dropping them out. Now, as you can see here, I've just stuck a torch, a block, and a torch here, and that also just keeps pulsing these droppers here and spitting them out into the water. So you can just have a look at that circuit there. It's not very hard to replicate, and it works really, really well. So if I come back over here, I should be able to grab those. There's those feathers. Now, how can I show you them spitting out? I don't know. I can stick them in. We'll put 11 feathers in that hopper there, and they should start getting their way up. There they go. All right, and I'll cover this over so they don't spit out over the edge. And there they go up to the end, and then I'll send them all the way up the top. Now, that's going to be very tricky because there aren't many item elevators that work without ice. I don't have ice. I can't get ice. Well, not that I can think of. I can't think of any way of getting ice in this particular Hermit Chunk challenge. So I'm going to need to use the sepie, the cobblestone polymorphic item elevator. And I'll put a link down in the description and on the screen. And also remember to check the description of that video for some improvements that I'm going to use here. Now, I hope I can fit it in. This is going to be really tight. I also don't like the fact that this water is running out of steam. It's not getting all the way to there. So I may have to do some trickery here with some half slabs and put another water source maybe in the corner here, because I think I want the water to go all the way to the end. Okay guys, I'm back here, and this has started to become a little bit of a mess. It always is in survival because I don't have ice and I can't do things with pretty blocks, and it just ends up being a little bit of a, backyard mess. So I'm just going to explain what's happening here. As you saw, we were up to the point when the droppers were working. They were just going tick, tick, tick if anything was in them, spitting them out here, and it comes around here. Now, as I said, I invented a thing called the sepie, which is a item elevator, and it can work without ice, which is really, really handy because otherwise we'd have no way of other than droppers, and they'd all be, we'd have to do a silent dropper elevator all the way up, and that is just nuts. So I've used some of my precious glass here, and I'm not going to do glass all the way up simply because I just do not have that much sand, and I may recycle this with my Silk Touch pick, but at the moment, what have we got? 5. I've used 10 glass here just so I can see what's going on. Now, down below is the sepie, the polymorphic blah blah, and you can see here that it's really hard to see, but basically, as I said, there are links in the description and on the screen, but we've got our fence posts, our cobblestone fence posts here. Now, this is the sort of when nothing's happening mode that I've set it up. Now, if I break this torch, grab it, you can see here that there's a stationary cobblestone fence post there, and these sticky pistons push cobblestone fence posts out to here and out to here, and that changes the shape of this thing, which makes the items go up. Now, if I put the torch back, we'll do it this way. There we go. You can see. Now, also, the other thing is you can see there's a delay. As you can see, when this torch... I'm sick of the slappy die. Oh, there's one of my chickens that has squirted out. These slimes are driving me insane. I can't really turn this farm off. Give me your balls. All right, let's get back to the, I was going to say tutorial. This isn't really a tutorial, guys. I'm just trying to show you what's going on. Okay, so if I put the torch back, it's going to light up this redstone here and that redstone here. But this one will go first because what we want to do is block the exit. We don't want the items squirting back out. So this fires first. And then there's just a repeater with a 4-tick delay there. So you'll see when I put the torch back, this will go, then this. Yep, there we go. Boom, boom. Okay, that's working perfectly. Now, here's the dog's breakfast over here. I'm not really going to go into details because this is a bit of a mess. Essentially, what I want this thing to do is, because I know there's not going to be items all the time, it's not like a mob farm where items are just spewing out. They come out fairly gently and it only flushes every minute. So what I'm trying to do here is not fall off the edge, and also when this thing's ticking, what I basically want to do is retract the pistons here and wait until all the items are through. It might be a couple of steaks, it could be a couple of feathers, whatever. And once it's finished ticking, then push these cobblestone fence posts back and fire it up. So that's what this does. This thing keeps generating a signal. So it's one repeater on 1 tick, one repeater on 4 ticks, and comes around here. This just boosts the signal. It does nothing other than boost it up to full strength. Here is a fading comparator timer. So once this gets signal, this thing just goes round and round and fades down to nothing and then turns off. So basically what happens is this keeps this alive until it's finished dropping, and then slowly this thing fades down, and then finally the pistons push together, and that's it. The thing's in a resting state. This is its resting state. It sounds all very complicated, but as you can see, it's just 3 comparators pointing that way, 3 comparators pointing that way, dust, and obviously into this block, and I'm inverting the signal here so that it's always on. So what we'll do is we'll go down the bottom, throw some items into these hoppers, and we'll grab we'll grab 14 of these half slabs, pop them in, quickly run back up, and you'll see that it will start ticking out. And now this is lit up, and once the 14 items, and I can't really see them here, can I get up to the top? This is fading down now, and there it goes, and up comes the items. It's as simple as that. It's like magic. So basically this lights up when things are ticking. When things have stopped dropping out of there, this slowly fades down and lets this thing go back to the way it is, and up the stuff comes because it magic. Okay guys, well this sort of looks like it's working. Hopefully stuff won't squirt out, which is typical with these types of elevators. And what I need to do now is just basically pillar up. Pretty easy. I'm just going to use cobblestone or whatever I've got the most of, go all the way up and see if this thing's working. Okay, I've just made it up to the top. I've finished it off with glass and a little bit of polished diorite. I'll show you what's happening down here, and I can hear a little bit of a problem, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. I used smooth stone until I got up into this bit, and here's that star thing, that, you know, that cross pattern. I've used cobble here to try to remind me, I don't think it'll work, that it's used for something, because if you break any of these blocks, the stuff that's going up through the blocks will squirt out. And if for anyone who doesn't know, you don't have to have blocks, entities going up through glass or anything. It can be any solid block, even glass, whatever. So that works fine, saves you on the glass. And I will actually, no, I'm not going to go down there yet because I can hear a problem up here. So this is one of the issues I've got, is that wherever there's grass, because there's, see what we're getting is animals. He took 2 hits. We're getting animals. We might even have chickens spawning in here. Now they can only spawn in a light level of 9. So if you could keep the light levels at 8, you're not going to get hostile mobs or passive mobs, but that's going to be a bit difficult. Up here, yep, here we go. So more, don't run away. Come back here. Right, you're dead, and your friend. See, so this is what's happening. All this grass up here, So one thing I probably should mention is when we're AFKing up here, it won't be a problem. The mobs, what? We got a new horse. You can die. You're affecting my meat farm, you know, I'm not a meatologist, but I understand that within 24 blocks, none of the... How did you break your lead? And a chicken. Where's his lead? All right. Oh, I know. Oh, look, it's all happening. Oh, look at them all hiding behind here. Go on. Get out of here. Where are you... they think it's like... Right, they're trying to escape. All right. Okay. So now that I've culled the population a little, because there can only be there can only be 10 passive mobs in a spawn chunk. So we need... wow, this is banking up big time. Get rid of those fish. So what am I doing? I'm trying to... Somebody said that if I name entities, they don't count towards the mob cap. No, we don't want 10 Kevins. That would be a really bad idea. Hang on, put one of those in there. And we got Kevin. And I really need to find some room. We don't need that wool. We don't need that button. All right, cool. There's a Kevin tag. And there's a Belinda tag. Now, guys, before you write to me and say I spelt Belinda wrong, I didn't, okay? That's the way I want to spell it. So, there. All right, come over here, guys. We've got to properly and formally name you. We should have a ceremony for this, but we're not. Right, you're Kevin, and you're now Belinda. You won't contribute to the mob cap, so that's all good. So what was I about to say? Yeah, so when I'm AFK up here, it won't be a problem because passive mobs or hostile mobs can't spawn within 24 blocks. And that is why I've gone over here and put water over there so we can't have any sheep or cows or whatever spawning there. So it's a little bit of a problem because unless I get rid of all the grass, we're occasionally going to have to kill mobs up here. But I don't know, in the comments give me some suggestions. Oh, and here's all the meat coming up, guys. We've got leather, some feathers, some cooked steak, and this is it. This is where it's all going to squirt out. Now, I could take it up a bit further to the top there. I think I'll just leave it here for the moment. The ideal is that we just simply put a... let's just collect this. We put a chest here, put a hopper into there, and I think that should get it. Maybe I'll have to like put some solid blocks around that to catch it, make sure they don't squirt out. But I don't want to do that right now. I want to see some of the stuff come up. So time lapse, speedy up bits, guys. Right after I eat my the first steak of the server. Look at it. It's just immediately brought me to full fill factor.
Made on my flight to Vancouver. Curry in my tummy, that chicken with bamboo. Not steady beanie, some burgundy Van shoes. Keep my feet up on the seat, cause I know that I can't lose. Ha, and y'all know what the name is. Now I'm what they call, quote, internet famous. Royal penis clean, I keep my steel stainless. Advice for the youngins, cause some of them so brainless. And I'm just trying to stay focused, trying to keep my head up in a room full of locusts, trying to take a second to stop and smell roses. But every hater here wanna scream halitosis in my face, so I turn my nose up, wait in my place for my turn to blow up. Pops looking proud like damn, my son grown up. Grab the coronas, it's time that we toast up.
The end dragon fight is getting closer.